Hello, dear listener. Faith Wambui, the boy in the box. In February 1957, the boy's body wrapped in a plain blanket was found in the woods of Susquehanna Road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. The naked body was inside a cardboard box. He appeared to have been cleaned and freshly groomed, with a haircut and trimmed fingernails, although he had been severely beaten, bruised, and malnourished. The boy's hair had been recently cropped, possibly after death, as clumps of hair clung to the body. There were signs of severe malnourishment, as well as surgical scars on the ankle and groin and an L-shaped scar under the chin. The boy was first discovered by a young man who was checking his muskrat traps. Fearing that the police would confiscate his traps, he did not report what he had found. A few days later, a college student spotted a rabbit running into the underbrush. Knowing that there were animal traps in the area, he stopped his car to investigate and discovered the body. He was also reluctant to have any contact with the police, but he did report what he had found the following day after hearing of the disappearance of Jane Baker. The police received the report and opened an investigation on February 26, 1957. The dead boy's fingerprints were taken, and the police at first were optimistic that he would soon be identified. However, no one ever came forward with any useful information. The case attracted massive media attention in Philadelphia. The crime scene was combed over and over again by 270 Police Academy recruits who discovered a man's blue card recap, a child's scarf, and a man's white handkerchief with the letter G in the corner, all clues that led nowhere. The police also distributed a post-mortem photograph of the boy fully dressed in a seated position as he may have looked in life, in the hope it might lead to a clue. On March 21, 2016, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children released a forensic facial reconstruction of the victim and added him into their database. There are theories that have been advanced in this case, like the foster home theory, and according to this theory, it is believed that the boy belonged to the stepdaughter of a man who owned the foster home, and that they disposed of his body so the stepdaughter would not be exposed as an unwed mother. It is theorized that the boy's death had been an accident. There is also the woman known as Martha or M theory. It was brought up by a woman known as Martha in February 2002. She claimed her mother had purchased the unknown boy, whose name was Jonathan, from his birth parents in the year 1954. The boy was subjected to extreme physical and sexual abuse for 2.5 years. One evening at dinner, the boy vomited up his meal of baked beans and was given a severe beating with his head slammed against the floor until he was semi-conscious. He was given a bath, during which he died. These details matched information known only to the police, as the coroner had found that the boy's stomach contained the remains of baked beans and that his fingers were water-wrinkled. M's mother cut the boy's distinctive long hair in an effort to conceal his identity. She also forced M to assist her in dumping the boy's body in the Fox Chase area. She said that as they were preparing to remove the boy's body from the trunk of a car, a passing male motorist pulled alongside to inquire whether they needed help. M was ordered to stand in front of the car's license plate to shield it from view, while the mother convinced the would-be good Samaritan that there was no problem. The man eventually drove off. This story corroborated confidential testimony given by a male witness in 1957 who said that the body had been placed in a box previously discarded at the scene. In spite of the outward plausibility of M's confession, the police were unable to verify her story and her claims were dismissed as ridiculous after neighbors who had access to her house at the stated time denied there being a boy living with them. Despite the publicity and sporadic interest throughout the years, the boy remains unidentified as no one has ever come forward to claim him. For this reason, he is also known as America's unknown child, and his case remains unsolved to this date and also open. He was originally buried in a potter's field. In 1998, the body was exhumed for the purpose of extracting DNA which was obtained from enamel on a tooth. He was reburied at Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedarbrook, Philadelphia, which donated a large plot. The coffin, headstone, and funeral service were donated by the son of the man who had buried the boy in 1957. There was significant public attendance and media coverage at the reburial. The grave has a large headstone bearing the words, "American Unknown Child." City residents keep the grave decorated with flowers and stuffed animals.